Hey guys, it's Hunt for Games, and welcome back for April 18th edition of Hunt for Game and News. Not a ton happened this week, but some big stuff, so let's get right into it. First of all, Nintendo, the NES Classic has been discontinued because of apparently just too much resounding success. Alright, so let's talk about this real quick, but honestly, nobody knows what the hell Nintendo's thinking. Everyone just got conjecture at this point. Nintendo discontinued apparently permanently, the NES Classic. If you don't remember, the NES Classic Edition was recently released. It was the tiny emulated version of the original Super Nintendo. It was like an anniversary of the Nintendo's release kind of thing. And it was extremely popular, along with, most other Nintendo hardware console devices. Flew off the shelves to the point where nobody could find them. Scalpers were selling them on eBay for thousands and thousands of dollars. So there was a brief attempt by Nintendo to but release a few more, get more consoles out there. They were immediately gone, and then they just kind of announced the other day that it's discontinued, it's over. Quickly, we'll touch on the theories that people are throwing out there. One is Nintendo's official response. I mean, they said that there was always a plan for this to be sort of just a temporary, short-term release, similar to how Disney does its vault for the movies. If you don't know, Disney releases all their classic movies only for like a period of time. Like, you can't just go buy Cinderella right now. You've got to wait for it to be released from the vault like once every 20 years. Nintendo kind of said this was the whole plan, was they were going to release a short number of the NES Classic Edition. It's kind of like a celebratory thing for the anniversary, and then that was it. It would go away. It'd be done. I guess, but if you suddenly started selling something and it was exploding off the shelves, why would you be like, that's enough, we don't like money? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So some of the other theories are that the NES Classic Edition was pretty easy to hack. People immediately hacked it, threw their own ROMs on the thing, and it became an emulator for, basically whatever Nintendo games you could want. Which I get. Nintendo hates hacking. They're really strongly against it. They just They pushed out a $20,000 reward for anybody that can hack the Switch. I don't know to what degree you can hack it. Like, what if I just make it think I have a different username? Do I get $20,000? But I don't get that. If that's the reason, doesn't make any sense to me, because you can find emulators. People have turned Raspberry Pis into little emulators. I've got an emulator for a Nintendo device that I've heard about on my phone. Of course, I wouldn't use it. That's not. Anyways, look. The point is, Nintendo. That doesn't make any sense. The next kind of theory was that it was competing with Switch sales. They didn't want to put all their eggs. They wanted to put their eggs in one basket and promote the Switch, work on the Switch games, pushing the Switch console, and it was hard to do with the NES console out there, kind of like taken away from that. That doesn't seem to be true either. The Switch is selling like crazy. I mean, it doesn't even have any games on it. So I don't know. Nintendo, I don't get it. I don't get what you're doing. People loved it. They couldn't wait to play it. People were buying it like crazy, and so instead of just meeting that demand, you just said, we can't do it, discontinued. I don't get it. Maybe we'll find out more in the coming months. Anyways, if anybody has an idea of what Nintendo's thinking, please let me know. Whether it's like an economic insight, just thoughts that you think make sense, whatever. Let me know in the comments what you guys think Nintendo's doing. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess Nintendo is the business. I don't know. We'll see. So next news, Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer was released, and it's obviously, super hyped and awesome with the 40-year Star Wars anniversary. And so what does it look? It looks pretty cool. It looks cool. If you guys didn't play Star Wars Battlefront, the recently released one by EA like 2 years ago, it was pretty good. Visually, it was the most amazing Star Wars game I've ever seen. It was basically like playing real-life Star Wars. I've never seen anything like it. They did real-life capture of all sorts of Star Wars effects, locations from the original movies. It just looks amazing. If you haven't seen it, just watch like 20 minutes of it. It just looks incredible, especially what they can do on consoles with that engine. It's just absurd. Some faults that were, spoken about the game when it came out. It was kind of simple. The gameplay wasn't quite as in-depth as people remembered Star Wars Battlefront of old being. The objectives all were kind of similar. The combat, the shooting was pretty good, but All the guns felt like kind of the same. It just didn't seem like it had a ton of depth as a game. There were only a few different maps, and it felt like a lot because they broke them up into different styles and like sizes of maps and vehicles, no vehicles. But ultimately, it just didn't feel like there was a ton to the game. No single player at all, which was a huge detraction. And space combat, which I think might have been added in later DLC, but there was no space combat. That wasn't a huge thing for me. We still got to fly around like on planets. Didn't really matter to me whether it was in space, but a lot of people were really upset. I think it was added in DLC packs, but I'm not sure. I haven't really played in a while. So, the Star Wars, well, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the trailer seems to be fixing a lot of that. There's clearly some sort of single-player campaign that might take place from somebody on the Empire side, which would be kind of cool. It's not that that's never been done before, but it looks like sort of a Stormtrooper focus. It would just be kind of a cool take on it. The story looks like it kind of starts out on Endor with the Death Star blown up for the second time, and then, you know, what followed after that for some of the people in the Empire. And that's kind of a cool story. If that actually is the story in the context, if I'm not just pulling that out of my ass, that's a neat idea. I'd love to hear how that goes. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have like Han Solo and Luke Skywalker involved in that. They're done. They're probably chilling for a little bit, but that's like a cool concept. I want to see what happens with that. Looks like maybe some Tauntaun battles. I heard you can maybe ride on Tauntauns into battle. That'd be sweet. The people were super pissed that you couldn't ride a Tauntaun in the new Battlefront when you could do that like 15 years ago on the PS2, whatever it was, 8 years ago. I don't know. Anyways, it looks cool. So my personal thoughts on it. I'm sure Star Wars Battlefront 2 will be better than Star Wars Battlefront 1. Why do I say this? Star Wars Battlefront 1, they spent all their time and money making that engine look beautiful and perfect and getting it running and, you know, shaping a game around it. But I think, honestly, like EA's want to do, they pushed it too fast, too soon, and the game wasn't quite as fleshed out as it could have been. Star Wars Battlefront 2, they're going to be using the same engine with maybe slightly tweaked, upgraded graphics, but Star Wars Battlefront still looks amazing. So I wouldn't be surprised if it really didn't change that much. And they can just build upon that with all the things that, you know, like a single-player campaign, different maps and modes. They can probably just drag in some of the maps and tweak them from Star Wars Battlefront 1. My point is they have a lot less effort to do just getting the game rolling. So I think it's not a good way to look at it, but I think the first game was kind of like a preview for what they're capable of putting out if they'd given they had more time. And I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 could be a really cool game. Battlefield 1 is a great example that, like, EA games, with everything that's going on with EA, they don't have to be, you know, money-hungry, awful games. Battlefield 1 was awesome. Tons of single-player stories that were incredible. I'm not going to go into Battlefield 1. I loved it. I have no regrets about spending $60 on that game. And I think that Star Wars Battlefront 2 could totally be amazing. So I'm really excited. Hoping you don't drop the ball on that one, EA. A lot of people were kind of excited about Star Wars Battlefront 1, so don't screw that one. So anyways, enough about that. So next, Battlegrounds has kind of exploded onto the scene with Steam's early access program. It was one of the latest success stories there. It's generating a lot of attention. So if you haven't heard of Battlegrounds, it's a, what's it called? Battle Royale style, like 100-man arena deathmatch in these like open field. Kind of looks a little like Arma, but it's not Arma. You kind of run around, you gather weapons, equipment. There's like trucks, vehicles and stuff you can find all this stuff and just kill everybody else. And the arena slowly shrinks down to a smaller size. That's about as much as I know. I know two of my friends have gotten it. It's like $30 right now, and they've said it's been awesome. They've been having a blast. I've been trying to save and not spend as much on games. I've got tons of games to play, so I've been avoiding it. But it looks pretty cool. Let me know in the comments if you guys have it, if you're playing it. People are raving about it. It's still in like alpha status. So obviously all the issues that come with that, but making a ton of money already. Developers seem very intent on supporting it. Now, we've all been burned by these alpha and beta releases that never finish or never get updated, never really get anywhere. But still cool. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I haven't really played too many of those. I played, begin with a C, The Culling. That was like 20 people. That was a little too arc spear stabby. The combat wasn't very fun. This looks a little more intense. Like the shooting looks a little bit more stable. So I'm hoping they build upon that and make it an awesome game. It looks pretty cool. Let me know if you're playing it. What you think. On top of that, I'm going to quick mention Star Citizen continues to keep making updates that they're updating their updates. I don't know. They're saying that 3.0 is coming. 3.0 does not sound like the complete game. 3.0 still sounds like more features added to the Star Citizen technical demo. This time it'll be like some planetary landings that'll be totally seamless and amazing for like 3 moons right now, which is still cool. But come on, guys, where is the game? When is the game coming out? When do we get to play Star Citizen and be like, oh, I got a mission, and it's sending me to this far reaches of the galaxy, and then I found a derelict ship, and now I'm in a first-person shooter battle with people that were already on the derelict ship, and now I'm gonna land on this moon to gather fuel because I ran out of fuel. I made up that last part, but like this is what has been promised, and they keep saying like, oh, we're working on the first-person shooter aspect, and we're working on the planetary landings, and now you can float around in space, and now you can get in your ship, and all that is awesome. But where is the game? It has been years. So they continue to expand the focus of that game, and they continue to not release it. And I am just pissed because I gave them like $60 like a year ago. So I don't know. That was my dumb fault. Anywho, Star Citizen. I only brought that up because we were talking about Battlegrounds and early access. But they are, apparently 3.0 is coming out, and it's huge. We'll see. Let me know if you're playing it, what you're doing. Every time I've hopped in, I just kind of like mess around, and it feels like a tech demo. That's what it feels like to me. Let me know if I'm wrong. Please let me know if there's something I could be doing right now in Star Citizen. Finally, Black Desert Online has announced some big upcoming changes. I've got the list of the changes they announced. So Black Desert Online had me so hyped. It's like a different kind of game, bringing back things like grinding and fun action combat that I was so excited about. It looked like a beautiful game, and I played it for like a month. Kind of fell off of it because the grind, while fun, wasn't hard. It becomes very easy very quickly to kind of get used to your combat, which isn't a bad thing. But it's all like there's blocking and dodging, and after a while, everything just seems to melt under your fingers because nothing can ever hit you or do enough damage to matter. It was too easy. Very few MMOs do I feel like I can just destroy everything in my path, and I felt that way about Black Desert Online. And I know it's supposed to be more PvP focused at the end of the game, but it didn't grab my attention. Let me know if there's if I'm not approaching it the right way, if I should be doing something different. I've been told that before. I'd love to approach it again with a different mindset to really get the most out of it, because it is a really cool game and I wanted to like it. I was just kind of struggling to get in that rhythm of what I felt like I should be doing. But anyways, what are they adding? So they're talking about new stuff that they're bringing. Where is it? Adding a new class. There are already tons of new classes that weren't available upon release when I bought it, so that's exciting. Called the Striker. Looks like a monk hand-to-hand kind of class. It's also working on a climbing skill. You can already kind of, I guess you jump. You can jump and like grab onto ledges, which is a cool system. It actually feels like, it makes the world feel pretty alive that you can like kind of climb up on things. So I'm assuming a climbing system, a climbing skill would be more like up trees or up walls. I don't really know the details on that. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. First airship, so that's kind of neat because so far you've been locked kind of the ground and the sea, so opening up the sky could be really interesting for what it could do for just general flow of the world, PvP. I mean, seeing airships flying over that are like real time. So Black Desert Online is one huge open world with no load times, which is one of the most fun things about it. So a world like that with like airships just kind of flying by, that could be pretty sweet, just like contextually. Combat sailboats, so I got really excited about building ships in that game like I did in Arcade. I was like, I couldn't wait, and then it took me forever to build like a raft, and the raft sucked. And then I heard that the ships kind of always they're always breaking, you're always building new ships, and it just seemed like a little too much for me. That's actually what drove me away finally. But combat sailboats, that sounds cool. I'd love to see more combat in other aspects of the game. Class rebalancing is always a fun thing to see, just to see if it kind of brings a more cohesive feel to the game. New zones, guild features, healing unicorns. I have no idea what that means, but they've got a YouTube video about it, so check it out. Healing unicorns, and a graphics update that they're going to try and add without actually having it affect frame rate. So Black Desert Online currently kind of kicks computers' ass with its certain settings. Certain settings just aren't really well optimized and kind of destroy. Even my computer gets his ass kicked. The new graphics I saw looks like it has a lot of intense depth of field, some sharper textures, different degrees of focus, which is all awesome. Honestly, you could tell me it has smoother frame rate and less clipping of objects and stuff, and I'd be thrilled. So some more stuff they did bring up. Siege War Militia. I guess you could just like pick a side and join some Siege War. So Siege War is out there, and I think it sounds cool. I just never really got to that level of the game to do it. Some UI and guild system improvements, more stuff. Lots of stuff. So the update's coming. If you're really into Black Desert Online, I'm sure you're thrilled. If you're not, maybe this is what can bring you back. Let me know in the comments if you are excited by these changes. If you're playing Black Desert, seriously, I'd just love to hear what everybody's thinking about Black Desert Online. It's kind of a weird year so far for MMORPG, which is probably why I'm focusing on this update. A lot of like somewhere on the horizon games coming out. Bless Online still only in Korea, but continues to get hints that it's coming to North America. Revelation Online, I think, released kind of recently, and people seem to think it's okay. I haven't checked that one out, so I'll let you know. Obviously, Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Word has an expansion coming out this summer, so I'm super excited about that. But that's not for another couple months, so I was kind of like thinking, I was like, I just wish I had a new MMO to play. So maybe I'll boot up Black Desert Online again and see what's going on. Probably get my ass kicked. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much the news this week. So that went on way longer than I expected. I thought I had like no news, and I just talked for like 25 minutes. Anyways, I think I overshot it there. Thanks for sticking around. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this week's gaming news. As I said, it really wasn't that much. It's only like 4 things, but I just kind of talked forever. Let me know the kind of videos in the comments you're still excited to see. What you guys are playing this week. I've been playing a lot of Destiny. So I made that April Fool's video about Destiny, and it totally backfired because my friend saw it and was like, dude, I know you're kidding, but like you have to play Destiny with me. And I've been playing it. I've actually been having a good time. It's a fun game. Bungie knows how to do shooting. Regardless of everything else about Destiny, you can shoot for fun in that game. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, guys. Can't wait to see you guys next week, and I'll see you around. Peace. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, you should totally think about subscribing. I've got videos coming out twice a week, and if you like this one, there's at least a chance you'll like some of the others that are very similar to this, so live dangerously. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comments and other videos you'd like to see. And finally, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Huntin for Games to keep up with all the latest stuff. See ya.